The Autumn Joy Live Show is sponsored by Everything Legendary, where plant-based is oh so good. For more information, visit our website at golegendary.com and follow us on social media. Sobe Restaurant and Lounge is a proud sponsor of the Autumn Joy Live Show. Sobe, surpassing the ordinary in Prince George's County, with superior service and a distinguished and inspired menu.
It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. It's the Autumn Joy Live Show. Autumn Joy Live. What's your favorite TV show? Autumn Joy Live. What's your favorite TV show? Autumn Joy Live.
Woo! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Autumn Joy Live Show. Thank you for being here. Now, of course, I've been all over the DMV hosting big events since the last time we spoke. Now, I had the dope opportunity to host Air Restaurant and Lounge with superstar R&B group Jagged Edge. Y'all, they performed all of my jams. Now, you know Jagged Edge is my all-time favorite group, so I was in heaven. I then got to welcome the DMV to the New Edition Legacy Tour at the Capital One Arena. My live squad was there in full effect, and y'all, they showed up and showed out. We jammed out to Guy, Keith Sweat, Tank, and of course, New Edition, as they celebrated 40 years in the industry. Now, speaking of Tank, okay, he stopped by my radio show at 96.3 WHUR, and we chopped it up about how he was able to clear up a couple of rumors. Okay, so the first rumor I asked him to clear up was if he actually worked at a popular DC trolley station, and y'all, he did. And he even revealed to me that he sang to get people to buy tickets. Now, if Tank sang to me, I'd buy whatever he was selling. Now, the second rumor, now this was a little bit more salacious. I asked him, I said, okay, Tank, I heard that a crazy stalker person spray painted profanity in your front lawn. Now, of course, that sounds crazy, right? Nope. He confirmed that not only did that happen, it was not spray paint. In fact, the person burned the words onto his lawn. Yeah, now Tank would have been my favorite interview, but y'all, he went to Crossland. Y'all know I'm a Suitland Ram, so he lost points for that. But shout out to my guy, Tank. All right, you all, stay close. Coming up next, I've got your Hollywood Crunch and, of course, your local love, all right here on the Autumn Joy Live Show. Don't move.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's why when others look away, we lean in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change everything. With your help, more moments of hope are possible. Join our fight. Save lives.
All right, welcome back. It's time for your Hollywood Crunch. Billionaire Josh Harris is reportedly trying to buy the Washington Commanders, and his bid may have just gotten a little bit of magic. No, literally. According to sources, NBA legend and Hall of Famer Magic Johnson is joining the group Harris has assembled to bid on the Commanders. Now, it's not known how much money he's investing, though the group already has a ton of financial backing. Both Harris and Magic have significant experience when it comes to either buying teams or being part of an ownership group. Magic is part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers and owns stakes in the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, this is not the first time Harris and Magic have joined forces. They were both part of the ownership group that failed to buy the Denver Broncos back in 2022. Now, that franchise eventually sold to the Walton family for $4.65 billion, which is currently the U.S. record for the most expensive sports team purchased. However, the sale of the Commanders is expected to top that by possibly $500 million or more. Forbes placed this $5.6 billion valuation on the team, which is nearly $1 billion more than the Broncos' sale price. Okay, so if you are a Disney fan like I am, well, then you're probably hearing rumors about a live-action version of Princess and the Frog. And y'all, guess who is throwing their bid into the game? DMV's own Ari Lennox, yes. Now, Ari did an unofficial audition for the Princess and the Frog. She has her eyes set on the role that many fans would agree she would be perfect for. Now, in a new video shared to her social media accounts, the Shea Butter Baby songstress delivered a breathtaking rendition of Almost There from the 2009 animated Disney movie, The Princess and the Frog. She says, quote, "Hi, I'm Ari Lennox, and I would love an opportunity to audition for Princess and the Frog in person," end quote. Now, she captioned that under her video, and she also let her fans know, like, look, I think I'd be the one up for the job. Now, as we all know, the song was originally done by Anika Noni Rose. Now, though a live-action remake of The Princess and the Frog has not been confirmed, rumors that Disney is considering bringing the fan-favorite film to life have been swirling, especially in light of the upcoming The Little Mermaid and Peter Pan and Wendy releases. All right, that's your Hollywood Crunch. Don't go away, because we've got a fox in the house. You're going to want to see this one. Don't move.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
She's an Emmy award-winning journalist who wakes us up every morning with her morning crew on WTTG Fox 5 and co-host of one of my favorite shows, The Lion Lunch Hour. Live Squad, let's show some love to our very own Marissa Mitchell.
Oh, thank you so much, Autumn Joyce. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, too.
Yeah. Oh, Marissa,
Really.
the feeling is mutual. I absolutely love everything you're doing at Fox 5, and I always sing your praises. You're my viral queen, by the way. Like, your interviews always go viral, and I love watching them. Like, you ask the best questions. So yes, kudos to you, my dear.
Thank you. I just try to ask the questions that I think people want to know, and
Yeah.
the blogs pick it up, so there.
Yeah, and I think you have a good way of asking the hard questions with a smile. You can't resist a smile, right? You're like, so did you cheat on your wife? And you just smile at them, and they're like, yes, I did, Marissa. Thanks for asking. You just have
Put
that.
some at ease. Right.
I love that. But being a reporter and being an Emmy award-winning reporter, you have to have gotten that from somewhere. So were you like a nosy kid when you were younger, like always in people's business, asking questions? Like, where did you get the motivation from?
Well, it's funny you asked that, because I have an aunt who always says, Marissa has always been a journalist, asking everything and telling everything since she was 5 years old. And so I was definitely that kid who asked a lot of questions. I was very curious. At the time, there weren't a lot of children my age in the family, so I was always the little one around a lot of adults. And so that's why I think I got into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But just that natural curiosity. And as I got older, I loved cameras and taking pictures. And so this career just kind of fell in line with passions I already had.
Yeah. So you've been, Chattanooga. You're a native Atlantan.
Yes.
AT alien. Is that how you say it?
You got an AT alien.
AT alien. But you're here in D.C. So, I feel like Atlanta's a pretty poppin' market, but why did you decide to come to the nation's capital?
Well, sometimes, Autumn, you have to go to grow. And I got to a point that even though I had worked in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, I did some freelancing in Chicago, I made it back home and everything was great, but I was half reporter and then half anchor. And I believe my bosses there loved my reporting in the field, and they gave me the opportunity to anchor, but I think that they wanted me where they had me, which was essentially doing both. And I had gotten to a point where I wanted to really hone in on the desk, on the interview.
Yeah.
And in order to be my best at it, I needed to do it full time.
Right.
And so I made the decision to leave home and look around and see what was out there, and I ended up here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. So what's that process like? So for the average person, in my mind, I see like, oh, Marissa's in Atlanta, and then she just comes to D.C., but I know it's not that easy. So what is that process to go from, how you said, being at the desk, them not really seeing your full potential, and then you coming to D.C., and then pow, Marissa, it's Marissa Mitchell. We see you everywhere. So what is that process like?
Gosh, the process is just having a manager who sees you. That's the difference. I'll never forget in my first few months being up here, I had a lot of people back home say, oh my gosh, why didn't I see that here? Because you're not going to change that much in 3 or 4 months.
Right.
But it's just that the opportunity that I needed and I wanted was outside of home. And I was okay with that. I think in some ways I wanted Atlanta, but I think the DMV needed me.
Yeah.
And needed someone like me. And for that reason, I think I've been able to really bloom where I've been planted.
Yeah.
And it's just meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, it is Chocolate City, girl. Listen, but speaking of that, and we've had this conversation before, when it comes to colorism, we see it in like the music industry, you know, the certain hue of females and even males get pushed a little bit further to the top. They may not be as talented, but because of their hue, they get pushed further along. In your career, have you ever experienced colorism, and have you noticed that? And you know, because when we were younger, we didn't really see too many people that were looking like us on television until maybe you came to the DMV. So, you know, being in this position, did you find it hard, you know, being the chocolate girl? Did you feel like you were overlooked for certain things because of the color of your skin?
Well, I have to say, growing up in Atlanta, we had black women in prominent positions for a long time because, you know, Atlanta, as you know, is the birthplace of the civil rights movement. So just like the DMV, in some ways, you have an affluence of black wealth and black power and black presence in media. So I've been used to seeing that in all hues. Some would say that it has in some ways. Some people thought maybe I should have gotten the opportunity in Atlanta or in other markets. And all I can do really, Autumn, is just do the best that I can and let the opportunity find me, because when I look at my class, I've surpassed some women of lighter hues and different races even.
Yeah.
And I credit that to my work ethic, but colorism is certainly in every field.
Yeah.
It's still here with us. It's systemic.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to change, but I do think it has gotten better.
Yeah, and speaking of your class, you've been honored. You went to Emory University, yeah, so they honored you. I mean, you're doing big things. So I felt like it was absolutely needed for them to put you on that pedestal that you did. So that had to feel amazing, right?
Yeah, it was 40 under 40. Can't believe I'm right there at it. Though, but yes,
only
40 under 40.
25. What do they mean?
Right. The math ain't mathing. Yes, and that was very nice to get that honor and to go back. And it was definitely a pinch me moment because I remember being on the campus of Emory University and doing internships throughout the courses of my study there and wanting to do the very thing that I'm doing now. So it was full circle, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, well, you've interviewed big names like Oprah, Clint Eastwood, what? Halle Berry, Deepak Chopra. Do you ever get nervous? Like when they said, okay, you're going to interview Oprah, I would have been like, what?
Well, you know, the Oprah interview wasn't supposed to happen. This is a really funny story. So she was at Agnes Scott College, a women's college in Georgia, and she was doing the graduation speech because one of her girls from her school in Africa was graduating, one of her daughter girls. And we were told, do not talk to Oprah. Oprah's not doing any interviews. And so a lot of the local stations didn't really have any interest in covering it at that point, in terms of sending full crews. And so I got a camera and I went out there and I stayed for the graduation. And then afterwards, I just walked with her security. I guess they thought I was a student. I'm not sure. No one stopped me. I had the camera and all. And I followed them. And as soon as she walked off the stage, I walked up to her with a mic and I just did an interview.
Oh, wow.
And she gave me an interview and a selfie later. And that's how that happened. But it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
But
it was supposed to
it
happen.
wasn't supposed to happen in the way, that you would think. But yeah, it was supposed to happen. And just being bold, I said, well, I mean, the worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed her since, but that was the first interview.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So one of my favorite shows on Fox is Lion Lunch Hour, and I've had the opportunity to be a guest on there a couple of times. And again, I'm going to continue to sing your praises because you do such a good job of making everybody on set feel comfortable, like you know when to talk and everything, like to fill in the gaps. It's you and Aaron Como.
Yes.
And you got, it's like a cooking segment. So talk about that. What can people expect when they tune in?
Gosh, fun. Fun. And that's what we want Lion Lunch Hour to be. It's weekdays at 11 a.m. on Fox 5, but a place where you can go to get away from the news, hard news of the day, the politics of the day, and just eat and relax and have fun. We're going to talk sizzling topics. We're going to do some celebrity interviews. We're going to show you how to cook whatever our guest chef has on. We're going to bring in amazing guest co-hosts like Autumn Joy Live and your crew, and just showcase the DMV.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to be, is just kind of a place where people can come and feel a part, like you said, feel welcome and just release, if only for an hour.
Yeah.
So that's how I would describe it.
Yeah, well, congratulations on being #1. I think Fox 5 is #1 across the board.
Yes, 12 shows.
Yeah,
12
that's
shows.
lit. So congratulations to you and everybody at Fox 5. That's my extended family over there. What's your social media, really quickly? If my live squad wants to connect with Marissa,
Yes.
where can we find you?
It's Marissa Mitchell, and that's Mitchell, no vowels, so MarissAMTCHLL on Instagram and TikTok, and then Marissa M Fox 5 on Twitter.
Okay, are you dancing on TikTok, or is it more like, okay,
I dance when it matters. Okay. You're not going to see me dancing because it's Tuesday.
Right.
But if it makes sense, I'll dance and have fun. Why not?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Marissa Mitchell, thank you for being a guest on my Autumn Joy Live talk show. I hope you love the set.
Oh my
Nice
gosh,
and
I
pink.
love it. I don't want to leave. Can I just sleep here?
Yes, girl, we'll sleep together. All right, Live Squad, don't go away. Local Love and David and Tanika have some serious questions to ask me coming up next on Ask Autumn Joy. Don't move.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama?
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
All right, welcome back. It's time for Local Love. Now, this couple will transform your shabby into chic and renovate your space into a dream home. Let's give some local love to the dynamic duo, husband and wife design team, Dariki and Al Hagler, owners of D&A Designs, LLC. Hello, Al.
How are you?
I'm good. How are
Good
you?
seeing you.
You too.
Hi.
Dariki, looking good, my dear.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a seat.
Casual.
Welcome to my home.
Thank you.
As
Your
you
home
can
is
tell,
beautiful.
Thank you. I love
pink.
pink, as you can see.
Me too.
Yes. I saw one of your videos, so yes, I know that pink is your thing as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
you guys are just coming from renovating a property,
We are
right?
just coming from renovating a property, so pardon our attire because we like to dress up
Yeah.
and we like to put it on. But yes, we are just leaving a job and we came here to see you.
I
At your
appreciate
show.
that.
Thank you
Listen,
for
I'm
having
like,
us.
I gotta shower first, but I love the fact that y'all came right off the job. That is amazing. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about your humble beginnings, because
Sure.
the aesthetic that you provide, the life-changing aesthetic that you provide, that's a gift, not just a talent, but that's like something that's in you.
Yes,
So
yes.
talk about the humble beginnings of your company.
Sure. So we've been doing this a long time, from renovating as well as interior design for a long time. So in the beginning, Al was the lead. So I took over, of course.
Of
That's what
course,
women
as we
right?
do.
We run the world. But he, when we first met, he showed me a HUD property probably about 30 years ago, right? So he showed me a HUD property and he said, "What do you think of this?" And all I kept thinking was, "Oh my God, I am not going to live in that property." It was like Amityville Horror. Right? So I had no vision. But he was like, "Wait and watch what I'll do to it." So he had a vision from the beginning.
Yeah.
So just watching him transform that home, that is overgrown weeds, the floor was almost caved in, and it was just terrible. And watching him transform it daily was amazing and intriguing to me. And years later, I got into real estate. I was a real estate appraiser first, where I was taught how to add value to a property. So that was intriguing because I got to see a lot of houses in Potomac and Great Falls, and I was like, wow, look at these grand houses. So I fell in love with the architectural details. And after that, I started selling real estate. So I was selling it for about 4 years and sold over $100 million, was like a top agent in the county, right? So, and then we said, you know what, with your skill set of remodeling and with my love for architectural details, let's merge, and that's what we did, and I kind of took over. So, our initial company was D&A Designs, it's now Luxury Home Interiors.
Okay.
So we've got luxurized now. Right. So, with that, we took over. We started remodeling houses. We started doing HUD houses together. We would purchase houses. We would renovate them. We would flip them for a profit, and that was like so much fun. At the end of the day, because people would come in, they would love our houses. Our houses wouldn't sit on the market for no more than about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So we kept doing it and doing it, and then the real estate market crashed. So after that, you know what? I said, you know what? Let me take a couple of classes, since I kind of got a natural gift, a natural nick, and let me take a couple of classes. And from there, we evolved into then D&A Design to now Luxury Home Interiors, and it's just been an amazing journey. We had some bumps and scrapes along the road, but who hasn't in
Yeah.
their journey, right? So I thank God that now we are luxury home interiors and we're just doing bigger and better things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, Al, how do you approach your projects? And really quickly, can you give my audience the definition of what you said? HUD? Was that what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay. What exactly is a HUD housing and?
And HUD house is like when you flip in the house, you buy the dilapidated house.
Okay.
And to fix up. So we was buying houses, and like Dee said, she was the real estate agent, and we would come in, look at it. I would come in, look at it real quick because she didn't really know anything about the houses.
Like what to
fix
look
them up.
for,
Right,
right.
what to look for at that time, and I did. So we go in and look at it, and then Dee was appraiser also. So she would appraise the house, and then we would go from there, just looking at it, and then see how much it costs, then going from there.
Okay. So like the average Joe, you know, walking down the street, sees a house. Like, okay, I'm walking down the street because I've always had dreams of like doing something like that. I watch the shows on HGTV,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
oh, I want to flip a house. But you know what captivates me is like the before and after.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So for the average person that would want to get into something like this, do you have to be like rich starting out, or?
Absolutely not.
No.
There's so many ways of creative financing. And also with HUD houses, they're like government-owned houses because people have unfortunately gone to foreclosure, right? So they're at a reduced price. And the key is buying the house at the right price and finding the right contractor that can fix it up. So at the end of the day, you get a profit, right? So you don't have to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creative financing out there as long as a house has equity, meaning that it's worth much more when it's fixed up than what you purchased it for. Then it's pretty, it's
And
not
like she-
that hard.
like
Put it
you
this
said,
way,
you
average
don't
person
have-
can do it.
Like she said, you don't have to have a lot of money. You have to have somewhat good credit. And also
money.
to get the money. And then you have to have a real good contractor.
That's
'Cause
key.
That's key. If you don't have a good contractor, being new, coming into that, you don't know what to look for, what to do. So you just like the average Joe, like you said,
Yeah.
coming on the street, trying to figure this thing out.
And you can lose a lot of money and get discouraged
Exactly.
from going on.
Yeah.
So you don't want any investment, right? You never do an investment that you can't afford to lose, right? But at the end of the day, you still don't want to lose.
Right, exactly.
Even though you can't afford
I need
to
a
lose.
return on my
You
investment.
still want an
Exactly.
ROI, return on your investment. So buying the right house at the right price and having the right team is essential,
And the
definitely.
good thing about that I was already into the building. So when Dee got into it, it just was a good fit.
A great fit, yeah,
Well,
great
this
team.
is the perfect segue into my next question. So, Al, I kind of want you to touch on this. How is it working with your spouse? I mean, do you ever bring the work home, and how do you all separate that? Because I'm just sitting here like, I cannot work with my boyfriend. As much as I love him,
Rude. I'm getting ready to look up into space.
I don't want
Because you know he'll be in trouble later.
So it can be hard. It can, because like she said, she came into it. Well, I was already in it, and she was like taking over, and she didn't know what she was doing. And I'm trying to tell her, you do it like this, and then it was a conflict. I mean, we argued
Yeah.
on the job. Sometimes, a couple of times, we argued in front of people.
No.
Just a little.
Sometimes
Just
it's
a little.
bad.
Not bad, but just a little. And then they
know
see,
about
they see the expression on our face, and
Yeah.
then, but she'll calm down and then let me take the lead.
Okay.
And then when it's her part, I'll let her take the lead.
Oh, I love
So
that.
it's all about balance, right?
Yeah.
Not playing in each other's sandbox and respecting each other's position, respecting each other's gifts, and knowing which position to play when. So when we're home, we're husband and wife. When we're on the job, we are. Sometimes I'm the boss,
Yeah.
right? Because it's my creative vision. Sometimes he's the boss. So just learning how to respect each other's position, gifts, and knowing which position to play when.
Yeah. So, and I've seen a lot of your designs, and they're all, again, aesthetically pleasing and beautiful. Have you ever had a situation where you designed for someone and they were like, I don't really like that? How do you handle like that type of response to something that you work so hard for or towards?
So that could be disappointing when you have someone that say, hey, I don't like it. It doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Only because people that hire us or hire myself, they know that we're going to bring it. We're going to be over the top, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a conservative person and you're not over the top, then they don't call us
Yeah,
because
don't call
there's
us.
other designers there that are more conservative, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to bring it. We're going to bring everything from the ceilings to the floors to just that whole entire wow factor.
Yeah.
So has it happened before? Absolutely. We've had someone that say, well, I don't like glam. And of course I was like, well, why did you call us?
Why'd you ask me?
Why'd you call us?
We could have fixed that.
And on top of that, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in order to avoid that now, because I had to learn from that one mistake, right?
Yeah.
So in order to avoid that, I ask people to go on my page, show me designs that I've done that you like. Go on other people's pages, show me their designs that you like. Tell me your dislikes, tell me your likes, and then that way we can kind of navigate and get a feel for what you like. And once we start, after some initial interviews with them, then we're able to determine kind of like their likes and dislikes. And then most of our clients, they call us, they trust us, they trust the process, and they're like, you know what, I like what you all do.
Yeah.
I may not like this, and this, and that's good because they tell me. And then other than that, y'all do what you do. And those are our best projects.
All right, you got to keep it positive, right?
Yeah.
So if my live squad wants to connect with you all, and they're watching now, and they've got some rooms that they want to make more aesthetically pleasing, where can we find? Is it luxury? What's the new name?
So it's Luxury Home Interiors Inc. on Instagram. Again, Luxury Home Interiors, plural, Inc. on Instagram. And on TikTok is Luxury Home Stylist, I think. Luxury Home Stylist on TikTok.
Yeah, you guys are pretty lit on social media. Like, I love the videos. I love what you all are doing.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations
Thank
on everything.
you.
And I
Thank
think
you.
I'll have a room that I need to be done up, so I'll make sure to let you know.
We would love to.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
So, yes.
Well, Al and Dariki, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
me
for
on my
having
show
us.
today.
Yes.
And feel free to stop by and listen. How did I do on my set?
Oh, you did well.
Okay.
Oh, you did well.
Okay,
And you
good.
blended the
I trust
pinks perfectly too, so I love it.
Perfect.
And nice contrast.
I love that.
Yes.
All right, Live Squad, don't go away. Your Ask Autumn Joy Live segment is up next, and these questions are real juicy, so stay right there.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
All right, welcome back. Let's get into the mail, Live Squad, and I'm hearing these are juicy. David from Silver Spring has a dilemma. He's having problems on his job with his boss. He says, hey, Autumn Joy, I started a new job 9 months ago, and my new boss has given me a couple of hints that she's interested in me. She comes in my office, sits and shares a lot of personal stories with me. A group of us decided to go out for happy hour, and she whispered in my ear that she liked my cologne and then kissed my ear as she walked away. What? Now, my natural instinct is to respond, but she's my boss. What should I do? My body and my mind are in a tug of war. By the way, isn't this considered inappropriate on her part? Woo, David. Okay, this one is intense. Now, I will say that on one hand, I get it. You just started this job, so you're a little bit hesitant as to whether or not you should say anything. But also, you want to be comfortable when you're in your work environment. So my advice to you, David, definitely say something. Go to your boss, let her know that her actions are making you feel uncomfortable, and if they continue, that you might have to go to HR, okay? This is your job, this is your livelihood, so you have to take it seriously, as should she. Hopefully that helps. All right, another one. I got another letter from Tanika from Hyattsville. She asks, I found out that my girlfriend has been sleeping with my dad, who is divorced and single. Okay, but he's my dad. My male friends think it's cool. I think it's a violation of our relationship, and I'm hurt my dad would do this. Should I just let this play out? What if this becomes serious? Woo, child, can you imagine your friend becoming your stepmom? That would be weird. But, I mean, as long as they're both consenting adults, and they are adults over 21, and this is something that they want to do, then honestly, girl, it's out your hands. I mean, you can talk to your friend and your dad and let them know how you feel. But again, that's not going to stop them from doing whatever they feel comfortable doing. Now, if you feel like you want to cut your friend back some, then maybe do that. But also talk to your dad and let your dad know, hey, there's so many other fish in the sea. Why you got to go swim with my friend? But either way, girl, I would just mind my business and let this play out. It could last, maybe it won't. Either way, hopefully this helps, and good luck with that one. All right, Live Squad, I'm all out of time. I know, this is worst part. I want to thank everybody that came on my show today. My guests from Fox 5's very own Marissa Mitchell, and Dariki and Al Hagler from D&A Designs for stopping by. I wish David and Tanika all the best with their dilemmas. Now look, if you have a question for me, email me at askautumnjoy@gmail.com. All right, you all, until next time, bye. Happy Women's History Month.
Know how to make me listen from beginning to the end. I be really tuned in. If I miss a little bit, I tell them rerun it again. So it's the Autumn Joy Live Show.